I don't know if that's, I just don't have any, you're asking me in a setting like this to give answers that I have knowledge that I can back up. From an anecdotal statement, I suppose that's true. I'm sure I've heard that in the media and other places, but I haven't looked at who people voted for relative to their race.
Okay, that's fine, okay. But to the extent that I've looked at it, and others have looked at it, you would not be surprised that most ethnic minorities in the state of Texas voted for Kamala Harris as the president of the United States and voted for Trump as president of the United States. Obviously, those are the only two choices they had.
If you say that's correct, I'll take your word.
All right, thank you. Would you also agree with me that when you begin to look at the secondary aspect of your goals in terms of getting more Republican seats, that those persons in the districts that are in this DOJ letter and others have been cracked out of their districts and communities of interest into Republican districts? Did you know that?
I have specifically asked my legal counsel if anything in H4 was the product of packing or cracking a minority district, and I have been told that it is not.
Okay, so if for some reason, so you've been told that, have you looked at it?
I have not.
Okay, so if you hadn't looked at it, then you're telling us that you have depended 100% on what people have told you as opposed to listening to what they've said and then going back and verifying yourself. I think it was Ronald Reagan says, trust but verify. You didn't verify that?
Just like you, I am not qualified to make a jingles analysis.
I didn't ask you whether you was qualified to make a jingles analysis.
You just, it's exactly what you asked me.
No. Let's not get off on that.
Don't put words in my mouth.
I'm not trying to. I'm just asking you to answer the question. Did you go back and verify?
I have the highest level of confidence in the counsel that we've engaged. And I also am aware that the House counsel, who have extreme experience in redistricting, they came to the same conclusion.
Let me ask the question one more time. Did you go back and verify anything that your high-dollar lawyers told you about the legality of this map, specifically whether or not minority communities were cracked?
Neither I or you or anybody in this room is qualified to do the type of analysis that it takes to determine packing or cracking relative to a redistricting map.
How do you know that? That we're not qualified?
Because I know all of you. Nothing personal, but I mean, it takes a lot of experience, a statistical and legal background in that, and unless I'm wrong, none of us have that.
So, and how many redistricting chairmanships, both the House and the Senate, have you occupied?
One in the House and one in the Senate.
How many redistricting committees have you been on in both the House and the Senate?
Well, I guess, I don't know, 2 or 3 times in the House.
2 or 3 times?
Yeah, I kept getting busted when we'd have different speakers, but so I guess 2 times in the House and then this turn in the Senate.
So you have working knowledge of the concepts of redistricting.
The concepts, yes.
But you have no working knowledge of how the concepts actually should be applied.
I don't have the expertise to do a jingles and similar type analysis.
Let me go back. So you have no expertise and you did not do any analysis on packing and cracking, correct? You depended upon the opinion that you received or opinions that you received, correct?
I relied upon the expert opinion of my counsel.
So therefore, if their opinion is wrong, then as it relates to cracking and packing, this map should fail, should it not?
If their opinion was wrong, I know there's going to be lawsuits filed, they're already being filed, then that's a a process that they're going to go through in court to determine. But I have the highest confidence level that this map is legal. I don't know what else to say about it. I've asked and answered this so many times.
Oh, okay. Well, you go several more times. Okay. Because again, this is
going to be the same answer.
You know, that's fine, and it can be. I don't have a problem with that. But just like you have a right to sit up here and defend your map, I got a right to ask you questions about it because it impacts my community. The fact is, I asked you about this man right here, a slave owner. Since the Civil War, African Americans have been able to work with different persons in the legislative body to get, and the courts, in order to get 4 African American representatives in Congress. What your map does is it reduces it to 2. That's what it does. I call that retrogression. That's what it does. And then when you begin to look at communities that have been discussed by Senator Zaffarini, Senator Hinojosa, and others, we say we have developed other Latino districts, which is a force. Because just as you said, that was kind of based on CVAP. That's what you said. And that is the least liable numbers to rely upon. So you put Hispanics in a position where a Republican can run in that particular district and win. You take away 2 African American districts, one in Houston and one in your county, Dallas County. And you take, your consultants, take away population in Congressional 33 and put it in rural communities where they have no common interests at all. And for some reason, you can't see that. I thought specifically you'd see it in Tarrant County. There's no way in the world that people, hopefully one day it will be, there's no way in the world that people in 33, and I'm not in Tarrant County, a little bit, but not a lot. But when you look at 33, you've now taken 33 and frankly put people in different rural counties into that new district. And you're telling us that you didn't even look at it. You relied upon your consultants to tell you it was just okay. My friend, it's not just okay. Because again, African Americans finally got 4 congressional seats of people in Congress that vote on issues that's important to them and the state of Texas. They're losing 2 persons to do that now. And you may very well sit up and say that if this map stands, the new congresspersons whose districts they'll be in, representing less than 10% of their interests, will make certain that their issues as a community of interest are taken care of. But when you do an analysis of potential congresspersons that would represent them and look at their voting record, you'll see that that is not the case. But again, it's a legislative body, and we have to go through this. A couple of more questions. Voting blocks. What voting blocks do we have here in the state of Texas?
I'm sorry?
Voting blocks. Part of the jingle analysis is voting blocks, is it not?
I couldn't walk you through all the things that go into a jingle analysis. I can tell you, I can walk through what the court has said is involved in that, but I don't know the specifics.
So you're not familiar with what the definition is of a voting block? Come on now.
I'm trying to avoid getting into a detailed discussion about things that I don't have a lot of detailed knowledge in. I know what a census tract is. I don't exactly know how they're set up. I know what a voting precinct is. I understand generally how those are arranged, voting blocks, but I don't want to talk to you about things I don't have detailed knowledge about.
So you don't know anything about what a voting block is, correct?
Tell me what you mean when you say
No. I'm not going to tell you. I'm asking you to tell me. Do you know what a voting block is?
Well, I may if you'll tell me how you're defining it.
Let me ask you this. As it relates to precincts, should precincts be split as a part of this redistricting process if it results in cracking of districts?
You should never crack or pack districts.
So the answer to your question is that precincts, if indeed it results in cracking, that's an undesirable way to do redistricting, correct?
Well, precincts are split all over this state. It is unavoidable. Sometimes it simply just has to be done for rounding to get to your one person, one vote target.
If you saw an overwhelming of cracking in a particular district, would you find that to be suspect of cracking?
But HB 4 before us today does not do that.
And you're saying that based on what? What someone else told you?
Based on the expert counsel
So what someone
that
else
I'm
told
relying
you?
upon, and that I'm very confident if this goes to court, that will be proven to be true in court.
So it's based on what someone else told you, not based on verifying yourself.
Well, almost everything we do here is based on us relying on an expert in a field, whether that's telecommunications or electricity or real estate matters, whatever it is. We always find experts that we trust in and we rely upon them. And that's what I've done here, just like you've done on probably hundreds of bills that you've carried over the years.
So based on what someone else told you, not based on your personal verification. Thank you very much, sir.
Senator Miles, for what purpose?
Questions to the author?
Do you yield, Senator King?
Of course.
You recognize Senator Miles.
Thank you. Senator King, let me share this with you before I get started. I can't tell you how extremely poetically and politically painful it is to see you standing there in front of Barbara Jordan while we discuss Senate Bill 4 or House Bill 4. Senator King, I disagree with the first thing that you said when you got on the floor this morning, that this is not a courtroom. Because it is a courtroom. It's the people's courtroom. It's where they send us to pass policy, make laws, to protect the citizens of Texas. As my colleagues always say, this is Texas, and we're here to protect Texans. unless for the last 27 years, it was black Texans or Hispanic Texans trying to vote. Senator King, you and I have been doing this now for almost a month. I don't think I have to explain where I stand, and I don't think I have to ask you where you stand, Senator King. This is it. There's no more committee hearings. It's just you and I out in the open, on the open floor, letting it all out for the people of Texas and the nation to see and hear. But I do have some questions that I don't think were adequately answered in committees, plus a few more that I think will shed some light on the whole rigged districting situation. So I would appreciate it if you would bear with me, Senator King. Senator King, are you aware that Harris County has the largest black population of any county in America?
You have told me that, yes.
Well, let me give you some more information. According to the 2020 census data, which you claim was used for these maps, Harris County has a black population of 900,000. That population by itself is larger than the population of Wyoming, Vermont, Alaska, and North Dakota. Fort Bend, which is part of Harris County, which is right outside Harris County, but part of what we call Houston-Harris County, Fort Bend, has a black population of 170,000. Together, the black population with Harris by itself is larger than the population of 6 states in this country, colleagues. 6 states in this country. Seeing that this is the largest population, how does your plan affect the black communities of Harris County and Fort Bend County, Senator King?
Well, as I've said before, I did not take racial data into consideration with regard to this map. I can tell you that the greater Houston area will perform with regard to CD9 better politically for a Republican candidate. I do not know who's going to run for office in any of the districts, and I can't project whether they would win or lose.
And I'm glad you mentioned CD9. From what it looks like, this proposed map takes what is currently CD9, represented by the great Congressman Al Green, and pushes it further up into Harris County, Mr. Chairman, combining it with a large part of CD18. Is that correct, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, and it also extends it over into Liberty County.
Mr. Chairman, did you perform any analysis to determine if under the current enacted plan, black voters could elect their preferred candidate in current CD18?
I have not personally performed such an analysis.
Mr. Chairman, did you perform any analysis to determine if under the current enacted plan, black voters could elect their preferred candidate in the current CD9?
I haven't looked at any racial data with regard to this map.
Mr. Chairman, did you perform any racial polarizing voting analysis in Harris County whatsoever?
The analysis that was done by our council would have taken into consideration such matters when determining whether this was a legal map or not. It would have followed jingles and other standard analyses and processes for determining compliance with the VRA and other applicable law.
So should I take that as a yes or a no, Mr. Chairman?
I can just tell you that a complete legal scrub was done and that I've been assured that this map complies fully with the VRA and other applicable law.
So should I take that as a yes or a no, Mr. Chairman?
Well, I'm not sure how to frame your question, but that's the best answer I can give to it.
Did you perform any racial polarizing voting analysis in Harris County whatsoever, Mr. Chairman?
I did not personally do so.
So should I take that as a yes or a no, Mr. Chairman?
You can take it as a yes that I did not personally do so.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chairman, regarding CD9, it was widely known that Congressman Al Green had repeatedly filed articles of impeachment against President Trump and is loudly critical of him and his administration. Was the dismantling of CD9 retribution for Congressman Green's fighting for civil rights for his constituents?
No, of course not.
Of course not. Mr. Chairman, why did you decide to draw Congressman Green out of his current district then and combine him with CD18, and how was that decided?
I actually don't know how the final decision was made in that. I had made the decision to wait and see what the House produced. When they produced HB 4 in its prior and current form, I reviewed it. It met with the goals that I had set for legislation. And I was also assured that it was legal in all regard. And so, but as to how the initial decision was actually made to come back to configure Harris County the way it is today, I wasn't a part of those discussions.
So the fact that Congressman Green had filed impeachment against President Trump multiple times and was very critical and vocal about his administration had nothing to do with Congressman Green's district being drawn out. Is that what you're telling me today?
I have never heard anyone say that it did, and it certainly did not with me.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, we have talked about the big picture, you and I, for long enough. Let's focus specifically on CD9 and 18, both of which are in my district in Harris County and Senate District 13. What was your primary reason for reforming CD18?
Well, the primary purpose for reconfiguring that region was to create a district that performed better for a Republican candidate, and CD9 meets that criteria in the proposed form.
In the proposed form. Mr. Chairman, were you aware before that CD18 was one of the largest African-American congressional districts in the country?
I was aware that CD18, though vacant now, has previously had African-American representation.
And were you aware that CD18 was one of the largest Democratic boxes in the entire country?
No.
Are you aware that under the current congressional map, Mr. Chairman, that 49.1% of the population in Fort Bend portion of CD9 is black? And under the new maps, 48% of the Fort Bend portion of CD18 is now black too.
No, I have not looked at any racial data.
If you look and took existing black population from one district and packed them into an existing black opportunity district, how is that not redistricting based on race?
I'm assured that this map, as currently proposed, does not pack or crack any existing districts.
Mr. Chairman, I want you to know I thoroughly disagree with you because Senate District 18, Congressional District 18 is more than packed. Senate District 18, Senate District 9 was cracked. Senator, in 2024, ABC News did an exit poll for the presidential election in Texas. 80% of African Americans identified as Democrats, Mr. Chairman. In this case, race and partisanship advantages are one of the same. Under the VRA, You don't have to intend to discriminate. You just have to discriminate based on race. Do you understand that, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
This is Harris County portion of new CD18 now. The new CD18 has a total population of 272. The total black population of Harris County is 907,000. How can you say that packing CD18 was not racially based when around 1/3 of the largest black population in the country is located in one district, Mr. Chairman? 1/3 of the black population, okay, is located in one district. How can you say that's not packing?
I've been assured that that does not meet the legal requirements for packing.
Okay, maybe not meet the legal requirements, but I want you to understand what I just said. CD18 has not racially based, when around 1/3 is not racially based, as you say, but around 1/3 of the largest black population in this country is in one district. Just want you to know. As of the 2020 census, there were 3.5 million black people in all of Texas. There are 343,000 black people in the new CD18. That means almost 10% of the whole black population resides in 18. Mr. Chairman, do you believe that it's partisanship to place almost 10% of Texas' entire black population in one district?
Do I believe that it's partisan?
Do you think it's partisan? Yes, sir.
Seems that your question is based on the assumption that there are not African American Republicans and that there are not Republican African American office holders and that Republican policies can't encourage or solicit Democrats to switch to Republican.
Well, I don't know
how to answer that.
How many Republicans are on this floor?
Right now, I don't know. I
19?
Go around the room count.
There's 19 Republicans on this floor?
If we're all here.
Are there any blacks?
Well,
how many Republicans are on the House floor? Roughly. 80? How many black Republicans on the House floor? 2? That's facts. Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, why was Anglo vape decreased by 4.7% while black percentages increased in CD18?
I'm sorry, I haven't looked at the racial data, so I can't comment on that.
Okay. Then why was Hispanic VPA decreased by 7.6 while the black percentage increased in CD18?
And again, I haven't looked at any racial data.
I can tell you why. In both of those questions, because they're packing. So it's obviously looks like you packed Senate District 18, Congressional District 18, but when you went the extra mile and took out the main economic driver for the district, like Bush Intercontinental Airport, what was the reasoning behind that, Mr. Chairman?
Again, airports don't vote. People vote.
It's obvious you packed our district, Congressional District 18. And not only did you pack the district, you took out one of our largest economic developers in Intercontinental Bush Airport. Please explain that to me, Mr. Chairman.
I was trying to. And first off, airports obviously don't vote. People vote. People don't live at airports. Voters don't live at airports. Voters don't live at a factory. They don't live at a petroleum plant, as was mentioned earlier. I'm sure you manage your district the same way I do mine. Lockheed is a gigantic economic driver in Tarrant County. My district goes right up to the border of it, but I don't technically represent Lockheed. But I spend a lot of time trying to help and represent Lockheed, even though it's not in my district. And I just don't ever understand the logic when someone says, well, we took an airport out of this district. I don't understand how that affects things, because I know you, even though I'm assuming the airport's not in your district, if it's not, I know you still represent the airports in Harris County because you represent Harris County. And so I can't answer that because I just have trouble following the logic of the assumptions that underlie the questions. I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, you're right. Airports don't vote, but they are economic drivers. And it's pretty obvious to me that not only did you pack Congressional District 18, but you took our biggest economic driver out of it as well. Let's move on. The Congressional District 9. Are you aware that the current Congressional District 9 is a black opportunity district? Mr. Chairman, simple question. Were you aware that our current Congressional District 9 was a black opportunity district? Yes or no?
I have not looked at any racial data.
So I can take that as a no?
No, you can take it as a statement that I have not looked at any racial data.
So you didn't know?
I don't know the answer to the question.
Sounds like you're saying you didn't know that it was. Mr. Chairman, are you also aware that the newly created Congressional District 9 drops off black vape by 28.4%?
I haven't looked at any voting age population data, CVAP, if that's what you were referring to.
Mr. Chairman, why did you decide to dismantle an existing black opportunity district?
I did not.
You did not? Because you didn't know it was, or you just did not? Because you did. You dismantled, Mr. Chairman, this bill, this map, dismantles an existing black opportunity district. For the record.
I can't answer a question like that unless I have examined racial data, and I have repeatedly said that I have not.
So you don't believe what I'm saying to you, Mr. Chairman?
No, what I'm saying is I don't know the answer to it. Okay. Because I haven't examined racial data, because I thought that was an inappropriate way to draw this redistricting map.
That is, well,
and actually,
you, Mr.
draw,
Chairman.
I did not draw, but it's an inappropriate way to approach the redistricting process.
Let me assure you of three things. CD9 is a black opportunity district. CD9's black vape dropped by 28%. And CD9 in this new map will be dismantled. The black opportunity district will be dismantled, Mr. Chairman. Let me assure you of that. Finally, I want to end talking about public participation. Throughout this whole process, Chairman, you have stressed public participation. Every time I wanted more people to testify in committee, you pointed out to the email submission portal. Let's take a look at the numbers out of that email submission portal that you kept speaking of. Chairman King, are you aware that we received emails into our portal submission system? I'm sure you are, because you talked about it quite a bit.
Yes.
I had my team look up the samples of how many. The samples of how many went into the portal were 3,800 submissions, emails. Would you kind of confirm that number is that about the same number you're thinking of?
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Mr. Chairman, out of that 3,800 into that portal, do you have any idea how many were in support of this redistricting map? I
haven't run the numbers. I can tell you anecdotally, most were opposed.
How many?
I can tell you anecdotally, I haven't added it up, but anecdotally, the majority were opposed.
Were opposed, the majority. Well, let me tell you the right number. 44 people out of 3,821 that entered into that portal, there were only 44, not 4,400, 44 people were in support of this redistricting map. There were 3,739 against this map, Mr. Chairman. That means that 97.8% of the portal submissions from an average Texans against redistricting, and only 2.2% are for it. Maybe I'm going to repeat that for all of my colleagues in this body. 2.2% of Texans that responded in the Texas portal were in support of this redistricting bill. We're elected to represent the will of the people. The people have obviously spoken. Then damn it, why are we passing this bill? If only 2.2% of Texans supported it. I'm almost done, Mr. Chairman.
I didn't know if you wanted me to respond to that or.
Oh, please do.
But no, I was just going to say, and of the witnesses that testified too, there's no question that Democrats are not in favor of this map. That was very clear from the testimony in the portal because it elects more Republicans. It was also very clear from the testimony that a lot of people want us to create maps that reflect specific percentages of all ethnic groups in the state, and that's illegal. We can't do that. And it was also very evident that a lot of the witnesses wanted a more compact map. The map we've drawn is more compact, but it is going to, I think, elect more Republicans. And it's clear that Democrats and the majority, the vast, vast majority of those who testified, clearly Democrats, it's very clear that they did not favor a map that elects more Republicans.
Mr. Chairman, that may sound good to you, but party affiliation was not even mentioned in that portal. Okay? But that may sound good to you. You keep repeating something, you start to believe it. So let me move on. Harmon Dillon. Let's start at the beginning. We can both agree that the call of the first special session had an agenda item that stated legislation that provides a revised congressional redistricting plan in light of constitutional concerns raised by the U.S. Department of Justice. Is that correct, Mr. Chairman?
That is, I don't have the call in front of me, but that sounds like an accurate restatement of the call.
If you can allow, if I can ask you to trust me, that's what it said. The Department of Justice reference letter was written by Department of Justice Civil Rights Division of the Texas governor. Is that correct?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
The letter was written to the governor's office. Is that correct? From the Department of Justice.
It's addressed to the governor's office and the attorney general.
And the attorney general. Is that correct?
Yes, attorney general and the governor.
Can we also agree that the letter specifically targeted 4 majority-minority districts? We've both seen that letter.
It targeted 4 districts.
Okay. Would you believe me if I told you those 4 districts were majority-minority? We've had that conversation, Mr. Chairman.
I don't have knowledge of that.
Let me assure you, it was 4.
I know there were 4. There were 4
3 of them
districts.
which were in my district partially or whole, and the other one in Dallas. Am I mistaken? And the other one in Dallas. All 4 of them were majority-minority districts, Mr. Chairman. I assure you of that. Okay? Could you go with me on that?
Yes, I'm sorry. I just don't have a letter in front of me.
All right. Can you tell me who the letter was written by, Mr. Chairman?
one of the the director of the Civil Rights Division of the U.S. Department of Justice.
Can you recall her name, Mr. Chairman?
Last name was Hermide.
Her what?
Hermide.
It's Harmit Dillon, Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman.
Harmit Dillon. Thank you.
Harmit Dillon. First name Harmit, last name Dillon, Mr. Chairman. Will you agree with me on that?
Yes.
Do you know anything about Harmit Dillon, Mr. Chairman?
No, not really.
Not really? Mr. Chairman, would it surprise you if I tell you that Harmit Dillon strongly opposed the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Advance Act, which will restore voting rights acts to its full power, and that she penned an op-ed for Fox News, Mr. Chairman, in which she called the bill a power grab. And if you allow me to quote her, Mr. Chairman, I'll come right back with a question for you. Her quote, "All Americans, particularly Republicans in Congress, need to recognize H.R. 4 for the unnecessary power grab it truly is, and not be fooled by false propaganda about voting rights." That's what she wrote about the Voting Rights Act, Advance Act, from John Lewis. Mr. Chairman, so the letter is written and the committee is convened. The first question that we asked you in committee is this redistricting bill based on a letter from the DOJ. You remember that?
I remember you asking me that question.
You remember what your answer was?
Whatever it was, it'd be the same one I would give right now.
You know what it
want me to give
was?
it.
Do you recall what it was? Good answer. But do you recall what it was?
I can tell you I have given no heed
Mr.
or
Chairman,
consideration
your
to that
answer was a
letter.
resounding no.
I'm sorry?
Your answer from the very first day was a resounding no, Mr. Chairman. A resounding no. But you know what? It didn't stop there. Many times you were asked at various times that same question in committee hearings. And the answer almost every hearing was no.
Know that I have not given consideration to that letter in the redistricting process, yes.
Okay? Thank you for agreeing with me on that. Thanks for being honest with me on that, Mr. Chairman. What were your primary objectives during the redistricting process as chairman of the committee? What were you trying to accomplish? There's two questions, I'm sorry. What was your primary, purpose?
Primary goal was to make sure that we produced a legal map.
Right. And what were you trying to accomplish?
The secondary objective, the secondary goal would have been to create a map that would perform better on a partisan basis for Republican congressional candidates.
And not one time, that Mrs. Dillon's comments, concerns, or letter from the DOJ to the governor and to the attorney general was considered. As she wrote, all Americans, particularly Republicans in Congress, need to recognize H.R. 4 for the unnecessary power grab it truly is, and not be fooled by false propaganda voting rights. None of that came into place, not one time throughout the entire committee process. Is that right, Mr. Chairman? Is that what you want us to believe?
Well, back it up a little bit. When you're talking about H.R. 4, what are you referring to?
H.R. 4 is was the House Congressional bill.
I'm not familiar with it.
Okay. But not one time did you want us to believe it had anything to do. One time.
No,
with race.
I don't know what she's.
Even though all this was out here, not one time do you want us to believe that the letter coming from the DOJ to the governor, to the attorney general, none of it had to do with.
I'll be honest with you. I'd never even heard her name before I read it in the letter.
Okay, let me try one more time then. Let's see about this. On August 6th, Harmit Dillon appeared on Just the News, No Noise. It was a TV show. Just the News, just the facts, no news. No, what was it called? Let's get it right. Just the News, No Noise. Where On that program, Ms. Dillon stated, while discussing Texas redistricting, that we wrote to Texas telling them that though the law had been struck down a couple of years ago, their districts are now in compliance with the federal voting right. Are not in compliance, let me repeat that, are not in compliance with federal voting right laws. So they need to take action to fix them. This is what triggered the Texas legislature to the governor to call a legislative special session to put new maps together. She admits on a show why she sent this to the state of Texas, to the governor, and to the attorney general. You weren't aware of that, were you, sir?
No, I didn't see that interview.
So throughout this whole committee process, you have stated that the DOJ had no bearing on this redistricting, correct?
It has had no bearing on on me personally, no, none whatsoever.
Okay. But recently, you and Chairman Hunter have pivoted to stating that it's all about partisan advantage. Is that correct, Mr. Chairman? It's all about partisan advantage now, right?
I have said that my objective in this map was to create a map to perform better for Republican congressional candidates.
Partisan advantage. We agree?
It would perform better. I like the words perform better for Republican partisan yes.
advantage. Yet here we have Harmony Dillon, who already has an open problem with minority voting, who wrote a letter targeting majority-minority districts, taking credit for the redistricting process. She did it for our redistricting process, Mr. Chairman,
Senator,
right here in Texas.
Senator, I'm sorry, I couldn't pick her out of a lineup. I haven't met her, I haven't talked to her.
I understand.
I never saw her name before I saw the letter.
I understand.
I've disregarded the letter because it wasn't addressed to the legislature.
I understand.
I don't know what else to say about it.
I understand. And I'm closing. Her explanation regarding the need for redistricting is literally based on race. I'm going to repeat that. Her explanation regarding the need for redistricting in Texas is literally based on race. Further, those very districts were either redrawn or completely dismantled. Your explanation is based on partisan advantage. Somebody's not telling the truth. I'm not going to say who it is. I don't know who it is, but it's obvious somebody's not telling the truth. Are you also aware that the agenda items related to redistricting in the proclamation for the second call, Mr. Chairman, the second call special session got rid of the reference to the DOJ letter? Let me say that again so my colleagues can understand, Royce. The second call letter, it got rid of the DOJ letter. It was nowhere in the picture. Is that just a coincidence, Mr. Chairman?
I honestly hadn't noticed that until now. I haven't read the second call. I just knew that congressional redistricting had been placed on it, and once it's placed on it, it's a very general topic for the Senate.
I close with this. I find it very interesting. There's a lot of coincidences going on here that we said from the very first day. That when you and Chairman Hunter start calling this, a partisan advantage move, and then in the second call, the special second call, it didn't make reference to the DOJ letter. And nobody has answers. Something's not adding up. I coined the phrase rigged districting throughout this process. This whole process is a sham. This whole process is a farce. And it will forever be called rigged districting. Thank you, members. Thank you, Mr. President.
Members, we're going to get a motion here for a moment. Our staff up here hasn't, you all can step off the floor and eat. They can't. So we're going to take a little break here for them to have lunch. We're going to get the motion here for a moment. Chair recognizes the Dean of the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate stand in recess for 30 minutes until 2:30 p.m. today, Friday, August 22nd.
Any objection? Please, everyone, be back on time at 2:30. We have a long way to go. Senate stands in recess until 2:30.
live video. That's it. You pop up and hit the play button.
And is it like permissible?
It'll show close-ups
Okay.
of
Like
the
every-
members. So like the guy over there is controlling the cameras. They've got multiple.
Okay. And is it .gov?
Just search like the
Is it?
Senate Live.
I'm getting a .gov.
Yes. Live broadcast.
Okay. And then
So
since
that
we're on
they-
a break, right?
They'll
But that'll
start.
be it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go watch.
I don't blame you about it.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Even if there's nobody here to record, I bet there's once the house became it's as if somebody wins the first 4 games of World Series and you want to play the next 3. That's all you want.
I'm sorry, say again?
record time, right?
In modern.
Modern history. So, yeah, needless to say, I'm booking a hotel.
They've already told me I can go home.
Oh, they did? Since she's from Houston, they told us. Now, if it's accurate, we may be able to go home.
I do, but by the way, I'm Molly with the
Molly.
Washington Post, but
I'm
I'm
Nick.
based in Houston.
Oh, nice.
You're representing with your colors there.
Oh, yes, with the Astros. As long as they're not playing my Red Sox, I can support
Or
them.
are you, you're a Boston?
I'm from Massachusetts, yeah.
Oh, where in Massachusetts?
By Springfield, Mass.
So I'm from upstate New York.
Oh, you are? I went to Syracuse University.
Did you?
Yes.
So I grew up in Syracuse. I was a paper girl, and I later worked at the Post Standard.
Oh.
My dad worked.
Yeah.
And he was an adjunct at Newhouse. So
Oh, okay.
loved-
Yeah. So.
And my mom was a professor.
Oh, really?
And we lived on Lancaster.
Oh.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is, when I went away to college, and so we'd take the Peter Pan buses home.
Yes.
And
My
I got
mom
to know
worked
all
for
the
Peter
Western
Pan,
Mass
so I know.
people, we
Yeah.
would all be on the same bus.
We're different breed.
There were a number of hockey players. It's funny because we'd all be on that all holiday breaks.
Thankfully, don't have that accent too much.
The Boston
Yeah,
accent.
I don't have it too much. Except my hometown is, I'm actually from a place called Belchertown, right next to UMass Amherst.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we pronounce it Belchertown. Belchertown, Belcher.
I love we would go visit like Haverford, the whole what do they call it, the consortium of colleges. Yeah. I had a cousin of my father's from a long time economics professor. So
Really?
we would visit
At Amherst College or UMass?
UMass.
UMass. I'm sure you dropped that H though.
Amherst.
Amherst.
That's how it's said.
That's the locals. Yeah, it's Amherst. The H is
Well,
silent.
now that I'm down here, I've worked now half my, so I lived half my life in the South, and I noticed whenever like reporters here in Chicago, Worcester, or something,
Oh, yeah.
and they mispronounce it.
So I did a story when the Red Sox and Astros played in 18, I think it was, in the NLCS. And I did a whiteboard and put up towns and cities in Massachusetts and then places in Texas. So I had Astro fans try to pronounce Massachusetts things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and Red Sox fans try to pronounce Texas things. Hysterical.
Ones that I'm learning all the time, and the ones that other Texans don't even know, like Medina.
Oh, nice. No. I said Medina.
For a long time, I said it's from it's Lake Buchanan.
Really?
Yes, Buchanan in Burnett County, not Burnett. Burnett.
Well, I definitely said Bexar County the first time on
Oh,
TV.
that's terrible.
Yeah, I definitely did. Then Tom Abrams had to call me and he said, it's Bear.
Right, never.
I said, how did you get Bear?
Whenever you have the list of ones to have
This one.
how else would you?
The fun one that Red Sox fans struggled with here was Kirkendall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kirkendall Street.
I feel like Bernie. Those ones are
Yeah, that was a really funny story. And the ABC station in Boston ran it, and they said they were all dying with hearing people try to say Massachusetts names. No.
All of it. All of it. When you go time. You know what I mean? It's not the same as you got it.
Yeah. Especially right now, yeah. Darnell, there are rooms. Yeah. Our hotel. Because it's going to be a short filibuster. She doesn't. Well, no, it won't be. Yeah, that's why the hotel. And last, I was just going this time because she did that last time. Her tennis shoes. Oh, she's wearing the bag, yeah. And she's got tennis shoes. 'Cause I remember that. She's wearing the same shoes she wore last time. Yeah.
And they're going to